Hey, Strong Mom Society. So one of the questions that I get a lot is about a hypertonic pelvic floor. When you have either been tested or checked by a pelvic floor therapist, or you feel like you have some of those symptoms of having a pelvic floor that's too tight, you can change the intention of your workouts. So one of the solutions that we're gonna focus on today is thinking about your inhale versus your exhale. So we put a lot of emphasis during pregnancy and postpartum on that exhale, lift the pelvic floor, wrap the core. I still want you to do that activation, but your emphasis is actually going to be on the inhale, release the core and pelvic floor. So you're just going to take that little shift in your brain. The other thing that we're going to add from time to time is a double inhale. So instead of just exhale, inhale once, we're going to exhale and then inhale twice. And you're going to find if you put a hand on that lower belly, at that first inhale, you'll let go a little bit. The second inhale, you'll let go a lot. So I'm going to take you through a total body strength training workout with an emphasis on the inhale. And sometimes we're going to add that double breath to make sure we're really relaxing the pelvic floor. First thing I want you to do is come down to any comfortable seat. You can pop yourself up onto a block. If you've got some light weights, have them nearby. I don't have any. I'm just going to use arm strength for the arm portion of this workout, but you're welcome to have those 2 to 5 pound weights next to you as well. I want you to stack your spine, one vertebrae on top of the other, like you've got energy coming out the top of your head. Bring your hands to the sides of your rib cage, and I want you to just take a shift from right to left. So you're just trying to keep that pelvis nice and stable, and we're just trying to put some mobility into the sides of the ribs. And you're just feeling how they shift on top of the hips. And then I want you to go forward and back. So you're really just trying to get that rib cage area opened and loosened up, because we are going to start to focus on breathing diaphragmatically. That diaphragm sits right underneath those ribs. And then I want you to just take a circle around in one direction. And then we're going to go the other way. Then I want you to take your knuckles and just do a little bit of tapping here. Ooh, and you can make some sounds. Feel that vibration. Nice deep breaths. Focus on breathing into that area that you're tapping. Our bodies are just gonna eat up that proprioceptive feedback to get that diaphragm turned on. And then bring your hands down to the lower belly. You can close your eyes if that feels good. And I want you to inhale. Fill that whole abdominal cavity with air, relax the pelvic floor. And then exhale, go ahead and give yourself a pelvic floor lift and head into that belly pump. Inhale, fill, release. Let it go. Inhale, release again. Exhale, pelvic floor. Wrap the core. Take that one more time, double breath. Inhale, fill, release. Inhale, release again. Really get deep into that relaxation at the bottom of the pelvic floor. And then exhale, close and lift the pelvic floor, wrap the core. So I want you to take that one more time. Inhale, fill, ribs and belly. Release. Inhale, fill, ribs and belly, relax the pelvic floor. And then exhale, close and lift, and wrap. Okay, we're gonna warm up that core. I want you to come onto your back. And we are going to parallel those legs right underneath us. Take one more of those breaths. Inhale, fill. Let go. Inhale, release even more. On this next exhale, I want you to think of closing and lifting the pelvic floor, wrapping the core, driving your weight down into your heels and the backs of your legs to lift up into a glute bridge. So I want you to do a few of these here, coordinating them with your inhale, exhale breath. I want you to make any adjustments that you need to in order to find your glutes. So if that means that you need to grab a block and put the block between your inner thighs, sometimes that'll help. Sometimes a band around the knees will help. Sometimes lifting your toes will help. Changing how wide, how narrow, changing the angle of your feet. But let's try to do one breath per rep. So you're just really trying to fire up those glutes. I want you to give me 3 more here. 2, 1. You're gonna come down and bring the soles of the feet together. We're gonna take a butterfly glute bridge. So you're gonna drive down into the sides of your feet. Exhale, lift the pelvic floor, wrap the core, and squeeze the glutes up. Inhale, release. Exhale. Inhale, release. Exhale. And again, make any adjustments that you need to. Inhale, let go. Exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Exhale, lift. I find it helpful to hold on to my glutes when I'm trying to get them to fire. Again, it's just that proprioceptive feedback that our body needs from time to time in order to get the right muscles to fire. Give me 3 more here. Inhale, let that pelvic floor go. Exhale, lift. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Good. I want you to bring those legs together underneath you. You're going to roll yourself up onto all fours. From here, just take a few scapular push-ups. So just trying to bring shoulder blades together, shoulder blades apart. You're trying to connect the bottom of your shoulder blades to your breath or your exhale specifically. Inhale, release, expand the belly. Exhale, shoulder blades come down and together. So it's a really subtle movement. It's just to connect those back body or those postural muscles with your breath. Then what I want you to do is take one leg back, and we're just going to take a quick little calf stretch here. Again, just continuing to focus on the breath. This is a nice place to relax the pelvic floor as well. Don't need a lot of core strength here. You're going to inhale, let everything go, and then take it over to the other side. Pressing into that left foot, trying to keep your scapular activation on. Just release the pelvic floor. Okay, we're going to go into an exercise that is a little more demanding of the core. So we are going to be doing some pelvic floor lifting, belly wrapping, but I'm going to make sure that you're really focusing on that inhale cue. So we're going to tuck our toes, and I want you to pop yourself up into down dog. You can just pedal or press to the feet here. Just warming up the backs of the legs, the hamstrings, the calves. This is your breath in. Every time we return to down dog, I want you to poke those sits bones up in the air. Take a nice big inhale, try to relax the belly, release the pelvic floor. Now you have 2 options here. One is to come out into a beast hold. This is an exhale. My pelvic floor is lifted, my lower abdominals are firing, scaps are down. Option 2 is to take that inhale, big release up here, or exhale, bring it all the way down to all fours, just connect shoulders to pelvis. Inhale up. You're going to come down either into option 1 or option 2. Close and lift, wrap the core. Take that moment up here, maybe even a double breath at the top to release. Release again. Exhale, come forward. Shoulders to hips. Inhale up. Inhale again. Exhale, wrap the core, lift the pelvic floor, bring yourself forward into either that beast hold or that all fours position. Last one, inhale, fill, let go. Inhale, fill again. Exhale, bring it down, connect shoulders to hips, and pop yourself back up. Good. You're just going to pedal to the feet a few more times. Walk your feet to your hands, hands to your feet. Drop your tailbone, drive into the backs of your legs, roll up 1 vertebrae at a time, and bring yourself up to standing. I want you to check in with your posture here. Equal weight on both feet. Vertebrae are stacked. Chest is open. Scaps are active. And then check in with your ribs to make sure they're not behind your hips, that they're actually closed right on top. That's going to help you manage your core pressure as well. Your core and pelvic floor pressure is keeping those ribs and vertebrae stacked on top of your pelvis. Slight bend in your knees. Inhale, fill. Exhale. A little bit of a close and lift. Inhale, fill. And then I want you to just take those arms out to the sides and just practice a few breaths standing on one leg. Keep those shoulders down your back. And switch over to the other side. We're going to head into a warm-up just to get the blood flowing here. We've got the core turned on. We're thinking about that constant release on the inhale in the pelvic floor. And I want you to just take those cross-body reaches. Now it gets a little harder to think about where you're activating, where you're releasing when we start to move a little faster. So I just want you to be intentional with your breath. And when it comes to mind, it comes to mind. When you think about it, that's where I want you to think about emphasizing that inhale. One side, we've got reach, pull, reach, pull. 4, 3, 2, other side, reach, pull, reach, pull. 4, 3, 2. We're gonna head down into a squat all the way down, all the way up. We're slowing these down. Take a moment. Where's your inhale? Where's your exhale? Can you focus on relaxing the pelvic floor as you breathe in? 2 more. Last one. And arms overhead. We're gonna pull down from the ceiling here. Connect your scaps to your hips. So we're staying connected to that back body, those postural muscles. So our shoulders aren't crunching up to our ears. 4, 3, 2, and then give me some booty kickers. Open those chest muscles, the front. You might feel a little bit of a stretch to the pecs, shoulders, and then you're just taking a hamstring curl, kicking your booty. Inhale, release, let it go. Inhale, release again. And come into a nice solid stance underneath you. Here's your chance to grab your light weights if you're using them. Again, I'm just gonna use body weight, but you're welcome to grab those 2 to 5 pounders. Arms are gonna go straight out to the sides, and we're just gonna start with a little circle here. So standing in this upright position, we don't need to go into those deep core holds or that really big pelvic floor lift. So you can just focus on release here. Unless you've got really heavy weights, and in that case, if you're working on down training or relaxing your pelvic floor, it might be more beneficial to grab those lighter weights or nothing at all. 3, 2, just for the purpose of this practice of getting the pelvic floor to let go as we move. Inhale, ribs and belly. Exhale, release. 3, 2. I want you to take a little C shape over, under, over, under. As your arms get tired, your shoulders are going to want to creep up to your ears. I want you to keep reconnecting. Think of the inner bottom of your shoulder blades, inner corners, and you're trying to draw them down and slightly together. 4 counts. 4, 3. We're going to take a figure 8 here. You're going to go over, under, over, under, over, under. Give me 8. 4, 3, up into goalposts, open, close. Ribs on top of the hips. Scaps are down, slightly connected. You've got 4, 3, 2. Hold these in the center, little pulses up and down. Inhale, relax that pelvic floor. Inhale, release it again. Take these out to the sides, pulses on the sides. Inhale, release. Exhale. Inhale, release again. Give me open and close. Open, close, open, close. 4 more. 4, 3, feeling the burn, right? 2, 1. In the center, up and down, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Shoulder blades are trying to pull together behind me. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We are gonna head into a hinge. So butt and sits bones go back. Chest is forward. We're just gonna row those arms in, out, in, out. In this position, you don't want to feel this in your lower back. If you feel any strain through here, I need you to adjust your hinge angle, put more weight into your heels. Let's take a nice big pull, release, pull, release. Exhale, relax that pelvic floor. Give me 3 more. 2, 1. Up for a second. Take an inhale cycle. Let it go. Inhale again, release it even more. Back into that hinge. Chest is open, scaps are connected, arms are behind you. And you're just gonna take those palms up towards the sky. Again, you wanna feel this lower body work in your glutes, not your lower back. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Shake those arms out. We are going to head into some lower body work. So I want you to take a nice wide second position. Toes are turned out to about 45 degrees-ish. I want you to find what works for you. Knees over toes. You're sandwiched between two walls here. So your spine is stacked. That weight's directly down into the center of your pelvis. And we're going to start with a little pulse here. Legs are open. Great place to practice relaxing pelvic floor. You can even imagine or visualize that you're sitting in a hammock here. So you've got a hammock or a big old diaper from front to back, and it's just like one of those little bouncy seats for a baby. Just 1 inch down, 1 inch up. Every time you breathe in, we're gonna relax the pelvic floor a little more. I'm gonna take those arms out to the sides because why not? If this feels like it's too much effort, or if you've got a lot of tension here in the upper traps, I want you to keep those arms right here, nice and relaxed. 4 counts, 4, 3, 2. We're gonna take a little reach, pull, reach, pull. I'm staying nice and low with the lower body. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Take it to the other side. Reach, pull, reach, pull. Take a quick inhale here to focus on the pelvic floor, relaxing. 3, 2, back out with those arms or down. Give me 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Arms up overhead or down in front of you to release that trap discomfort. We're gonna lift those heels and lower down nice and slow. I'm gonna lift on my exhale. When those heels hit the ground, I'm really focusing on grounding myself down, filling the belly, relaxing the pelvic floor. Exhale, inhale, release. Exhale, inhale, press down into the heels, relax the pelvic floor. One more time. Woo. Inhale, let it go. Good. Shake those legs out. 2 options for this next exercise. We're either gonna do little step outs, right to left, or we're gonna take full monster walks, right to left. Again, if you've got a band, put it up around those knees if you'd like. Nothing is needed here though. You're gonna head into that hinge, finding that place where your glutes are holding you up, not your lower back. So drive into the heels, find that angle. I'm gonna keep my hands, one hand on my belly, one on my hip here. One to focus on pelvic stability, the other one to focus on feeling that release as that I inhale. And I'm gonna stay nice and low. The other cue that I want you to think about is those scaps down your back. Long line of energy from the tailbone through the spine, out the top of the head. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You're either gonna stay there in those low tap outs, or we're gonna take these into monster walks, right to left. I'm gonna bring my hands to prayer in front of me just so I can focus on the shoulders down. And I am gonna head into little side to side step here. Finding the glutes, breathing in, finding that release. So like I said, when you're working with a hypertonic pelvic floor, you can still do all of these strength training workouts. I don't want you to completely turn off that activation, but I want you to really emphasize your inhale, the place where you're relaxing. That diaphragm is pushing down, belly's filling, pelvic floor takes a release. Give me 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, shake it out. All right, grab yourself a sip of water if you need it. We're gonna head into our first interval. How are you feeling? We're good? Take a moment here, just give yourself a little shake. Kind of rocking or circling out the hips. Our first interval is gonna be a squat. We're gonna alternate squat, releve, or lift up onto your toes with a squat, reach. So it's gonna go squat, releve, squat, reach, squat, releve, squat, reach. So I want you to find the cycle. Reach, Again, you're focusing on where is your inhale, where's your exhale, down and up, down and reach, down and up, down and reach, down and up. We're just gonna take about 4 more of these, 2 more on each side. You're checking in to see if you can find that hip hinge. Oops, I forgot if I was on the down or the up. Hip hinge and those glutes on your squat. This one's hard to talk. This is like a brain teaser. So if you're following me, I'm all over the place, that's why. Shake those legs out. First recovery position is gonna be all the way down in child's pose. So coming down, great place to release your pelvic floor. Head all the way down to your mat. Extend those arms out. And here, you're just focusing on that inhale, dropping the belly down between the thighs, imagining those sits bones in the pelvis. Sits bones side to side, pelvic floor, opening, lengthening, letting go. We're just gonna take about 30 more seconds here for this recovery. See if you can really get that belly to let go as you breathe in. Give me 1 more breath. Good. We're gonna come all the way up. Find your glutes, find your exhale breath to get you there. All right, we're gonna head into some crushers. Arms overhead. You're balanced on one leg. We're gonna take about 30 seconds on this side here. So arms up, arms down. You can add those weights if you want. You're trying to keep this in your front glute. So if you feel anything in your knee, I want you to either take this smaller, see if you can just isolate into that front glute, or you're gonna slow this way down and maybe just go tilt and upright to see if we can get that glute to fire in this position. Use those arms, pumping them overhead. Give me 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, other side. Find that stability down in that front leg. About 30 seconds here. Again, big if you can feel that front glute, or you're gonna keep it small, trying to isolate it into that leg that's on the ground, or going out in and out of a tilt to find that glute. Give me 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Second recovery is going to be down on all fours. Again, great position to release your pelvic floor because the sits bones here are nice and wide. So I want you to circle out the pelvis a little bit. You're trying to get back into that parasympathetic nervous system, which is that low belly breath instead of that upper chest breath. Circle the other way if you haven't switched already. And then you kind of just wag the tail a little bit right to left. We're gonna come up and do 1 more interval. But I want you to make sure that pelvic floor is turned off in this all fours position before you get yourself back up there again. So if you're really having a hard time letting go, come back down into that child's pose. Pause the video if you need to. You can just pick up with this next interval when you're ready. Bring yourself up, drive into that heel, find that front glute, tuck those toes. Last interval, we are gonna take a little skater, right to left. Hip bones are gonna drive forward. So as you take that leg back, don't open the hip. Really gonna pump those arms. Focus on air going into the body on your inhale. Again, this is a hinge position. So you wanna feel this in your glutes. Keep your chest open, don't round forward. These can always be a little more upright. They could always be a lot slower. So focus on finding that stability. You're gonna take it at the pace that works for you. 30 more seconds here. The goal, again, is to focus on that inhale, that place where you can let go a little bit, even when we're moving quickly. At the same time, get the heart rate up. I'm gonna take 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna come all the way down for this last recovery. I want you to put your legs in a 90-90 position. So one leg is in front, parallel to your body here, or horizontal rather. The other leg, you're trying to get into the same angle. So it's 2 90-degree angles. And what I want you to think about doing is pressing your hip down as you breathe out. Inhale, fill the ribs and belly. Relax the pelvic floor. Exhale. You're just gonna go in and out of this rock to try to get those inner thigh muscles, groin muscles to let go. You're gonna take a few more on this side. And then slow transition over to the other leg. You might find you've got one hip or inner thigh muscle tighter than the other. You may be able to sit more upright on one side. These are all normal imbalances that everyone feels from time to time. But it's important to note what side feels tight from day to day. How does that tightness connect to other things that you're doing when you're in different positions? Is it always the same side? Does it switch from left and right? Just really learning about your body's limitations, where it works optimally. 2 more. Last one. Good. Quick little glute blast. I want you to come onto all fours, onto your forearms actually. So shoulders down, connect to those scaps. Take your right leg up to the ceiling. Imagine that you're holding a platter on there. And then I want you to just press that platter. If you had a pie on the end of your foot, you're gonna squish it up into the ceiling. Stay connected to those scaps. Inhale, releasing the belly. Exhale, getting the air out. Give me 8, 7, which is really 16. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna stay here and just switch over to the other side. Platter on the opposite foot, shoulders down, little pulses. Inhale, let go. Inhale, let go a little bit more. Make that glute do the work here for you instead of your pelvic floor. Give me 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Walk yourself back into that child's pose. Extend those arms, drop your head down, release your pelvic floor. Let go, let go, let go. Nice big belly breath here. I want you to shift your hips over to the left, walk your hands over to the right. Breathe into the side of your rib cage here. And then you're gonna walk your hands over to the other side. So hips shift right, arms walk left. Coming up onto all fours, I want you to take one arm out to the side, just thread it underneath here, and breathe into that shoulder that's down on the ground. Check in with your pelvic floor again. Are you holding tension? Can you let it go? Good, and then you're gonna flip yourself over to the other side. So take that opposite arm out, thread it under, breathe into that shoulder that's down on the ground, and release this belly here. Pelvic floor opens, expands. Now hopefully the cueing in this session has helped switch your brain a little bit to make you realize that you can do any of the workouts on the platform. You can still do that activation, but you're really gonna focus on letting go on that breath in. Soles of the feet together. Stack your spine, lift yourself up nice and tall. Bring yourself forward. My other suggestion is that if you can get yourself to a pelvic floor PT, that is another great place to go and collect information about what's happening in your pelvic floor. That'll give you some more specific cueing and it'll really let you know about which sections of the pelvic floor are strong or weak, and what exercises you need to do to help bring everything back into balance again. I want you to take a figure 4 stretch, ankle over knee, sit into that. Open up the chest so we're not slouching through the shoulders. You can give this a little gentle rock from side to side if that feels good. You can lift that front heel if that feels good. One more breath here. And then we're gonna switch over to the other leg. So, ankle over that knee, flexion in that foot here. That's gonna support your ankle, your knee. Chest is open. Notice if you got more tightness on this side compared to the other, or if it's about the same. And then I'm gonna give you one more really deep pelvic floor release. We're gonna come into a deep squat position. If you have really tight Achilles, or if you can't get into this position without feeling like you're really up on your toes, I want you to take a towel. You can roll it up, prop it underneath you. Little pillows work. But I want you to just hang out here. It's okay if your hands are in front. If you can come a little more upright and balanced, that's great too. But close your eyes and try to let that belly just release here. Pelvic floor opens. And we're gonna take 2 more breaths. Inhale, fill. Exhale, let go. And last one, fill, release. And let that air go. Great. You're gonna bring yourself out of that position. You did it. If you have any questions about this type of down training or focusing on that inhale breath because of the hypertonic pelvic floor, please reach out to me. I'm happy to chat, answer questions on email, or even hop on a call. I'll see you guys soon.